Hey guys, how we doing? John Anthony. Welcome to Driving to the Bank, sponsored by Sports Coin Network, a drive into the top production. Welcome to week 2 of the NFL season. Week 1, a lot of winners, some losers, some upsets, and some games that we saw going the same way they turned out. Guys, welcome back to week 2. Appreciate you joining us again. Last week, the first week, not too bad. We went 11-5 here, driving to the bank. So put us at 69%. Not the greatest, but can definitely build on that. Took a couple L's that were unexpected. The Bengals losing to the Pats was definitely one of those. And obviously some wins that some of us didn't see coming. So, but with that being said, listen, week two's past us. We're moving on. We're on to week 2. With that being said, let's start talking about the big stars of week 1. Top 3. We'll start with number 3. These are the ones that we picked here. I suggested, talked about the gents here at Share Shot Sports. The third top star we have is Saquon Barkley. For those of you who don't know, the running back for the Philadelphia Eagles. My man went off. 24 rushes for 109 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and also 2 receptions for 23 yards and 1 touchdown reception. So 3 touchdowns all together in an amazing, amazing game. Second star, Baker Mayfield. A lot of quarterbacks went off. Richardson looked good. Purdy had a lot of yards. But this man, Baker Mayfield, was fine in the end zone, baby. He was putting it into the house. 24-30, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he rushed for about 20 yards. Looked good, man. Was finding guys in the end zone where it counted for the 6 points. Love to see it. And number 1, maybe I'm biased by it, but I feel like when you're filling in for somebody, especially a top star, top 1 or 2 guy in that position, and you go off and you really, really make your presence known, whether it be an offensive, defensive side of the ball. Jordan Mason for the San Francisco 49ers, the fill-in running back of CMC, was a game-time decision to be sat on the bench. 28 rushes, 147 yards, and a touchdown. Maybe it doesn't sound like something great. Sure, a couple other guys probably did some better yards, maybe some more carries. But the fact of getting put in, like letting know 2 days before you're going to go off and to fill in the way he did, it was the yards that he was getting. You know what I mean? Like 33, 34, and he's getting that power through, going through the line, north to south in it, and just getting that offense, keeping him on the field, and getting that ball, keeping that ball in Purdy's hands. Purdy obviously didn't have a touchdown this past week 1. Excuse me, but almost had 300 yards passing. Looked great out there. Brandon Ayuk, going to work out a little bit, but, we got the contract all set, so we're good to go. Debo looked good as well. So a lot of teams up there look great. Not a lot of rust from the offseason, and it's going to be even better moving into week 2. So with that being said, let's start talking and diving right into our week 2 picks of the second week of the season. So we'll start off with Thursday Night Football. We have the Bills and the Dolphins, both teams coming off of comeback wins. The spread is Miami at 2.5. I got the Bills coming out on this, man. I think the Bills got a lot of momentum coming back and winning that game in week 1. I think they keep it going. I know they're in Miami. Miami's missing is going to be missing Mostert this week. And he's obviously supposed to be an intricate player into that offense this year. So I think the Bills, I think Josh Allen saw what he did in the second half, ran a little bit more, create a little more opportunity for himself in the offense. So I have them going over. I have Buffalo going over here in the win over the Dolphins. And again, if this is your first time watching, I'm giving you the spread so you can have that option if that's how you want to bet. I'm giving you the straight up option. I'm picking winners and losers here. I'm not going out. I'm not picking against or for the spread. I'm letting you know that so you're informed and you can make your decisions if that's how you like to bet. So let's get right into the Sunday night games, on Sunday day games. I apologize. San Francisco 49ers visiting the Vikings. The San Francisco 49ers are 5.5 point favorites. Now, obviously, I'm going to pick the Niners. I don't think I ever go against the Niners, right? This game can be tough. And let me tell you why it still scares me. Yes, they're playing the Vikings. Should they be able to beat the Vikings? Absolutely, if they were at Levi Stadium. The Niners have not won in Minnesota since 1992. That's a very, very long time to not win somewhere. The longest drought in the NFL in not winning at another team's stadium. I'm going to pick the Niners. I think this is the year. This is a different team. They haven't played them in, I think, 4 years in Minnesota. They haven't been there. So I think this is a different team. We're going to get that monkey off our back, go 2-0, and then be streaking toward the Super Bowl. But I have the Niners winning here. They are favored 5.5. A little history behind that, but I think the Niners pull it out. Game after that, we have the Las Vegas Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens right now are favored at 9 points. I think this is a little low, to be perfectly honest with you. I think Baltimore wins it by halftime. They're pretty much up probably by 2 touchdowns, if not more. I think they assert their dominance after taking that L on Thursday night last week. So Baltimore here gets off of the schneid, goes 1-1. After that, we have the Browns and the Jags. The Jags are favored here by 3. This is a tough game. Cleveland had a lot of bright spots in their game. But they also looked like the Browns and took the L. The Jags looked really good, but ended up coughing it up to the Dolphins at the end of the game. So the defense kind of faltered there toward the end, especially in the second half. I'm going to have to go with the Jags here. They're in Jacksonville. They are playing really, really good. The offense looked on point, clicking on all cylinders. They are favored by 3. The hometown give there. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Jags here to win against the Cleveland Browns. And then we have the New York Jets and the Tennessee Titans. The Jets are favored by 4 here, and I get it. It's the Titans. They lost last week. I have no faith in the Jets. I'm not saying I have no faith in Aaron Rodgers or saying anything about him, but the rest of that team, those receivers, couldn't catch a ball last Monday night. I know it was against the Niners. Top 2 defense in the NFL. But those guys were not able to get on the same page. Now, whether it be he missed a whole year, they only had this past offseason to really train, I don't know. But I have no confidence in that offense putting up 21, 28 points. I know the Titans aren't the greatest team, but they can score. And the Jets defense isn't the greatest, especially on the line. Secondary, good, but get past that line. I think you can get some dink and dunk kind of things, run some screens. And if you run the right kind of runs, you might be able to break one off. So I'm going to go with the Titans here. Take the Titans over the New York Jets. Then we have the Chargers taking on the Panthers. Chargers are favored by 6. Again, I think it's too low. I don't have as much to say about this game. The Panthers are going to Panther. I'm going to take the Chargers, probably winning by a couple touchdowns here, even though they're in Carolina. The Seattle Seahawks taking on the New England Patriots. Now here the Hawks are favored by 3.5. This could be another trap game for a lot of people. There's a lot of people who lost a lot of money by betting on the Bengals. The Pats, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm not a hater. They look good. They look good out there, man. Brissett impressed me. The defense looked good. I think Mayo is doing a really good job of getting these guys in line and what he wants to do for a game plan. The Bengals obviously didn't do any favors for the Pats by coughing up the ball 4 different times. I don't think that happens with Seattle. It is the opening game in New England. They are at home. That's got to count for something. The people in New England are hungry for this. It's going to be loud. The Seahawks are used to loud when it's their defense, not their offense necessarily. It's not your dad's Seahawks here. No Pete Carroll, no Russell Wilson. But I got to err on the side of caution here. I know they're favored 3.5. I don't know if they cover. If you're a spread guy, I don't know if they cover. But I'm going to take the Seahawks here for winning over New England in New England's opener over at Foxborough. Then I got the New Orleans Saints taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys here are favored by 6. The Saints, I think, are going to do amazing this year, but obviously you saw what Dak did last week. Granted, take who they played before you start going that crazy about Dak. But I think the Cowboys are going to win a good amount of games this year. I think they're going to get into the playoffs. If they do anything and make any noise, it's going to be on them. It's going to be on Dak to get that monkey off his back and show that he can perform when it's not the regular season. But that being said, this week I have Dallas going over the New Orleans Saints. And then we have a game that's really hard to pick. The New York Giants against the Commanders. The Commanders right now are a 1.5 point favorite. This is almost pretty much going to be a pick 'em, I feel like, by kickoff. Daniel Jones looks like trash. I'm pretty sure there's a stat out there. He's thrown more touchdowns to the defense of other teams than he has his own guys. like it's nuts. It's wild. I don't know what is wrong with this kid. He's got an arm. He can run. It's just when it counts, he can't get the ball where it needs to go. The Commanders looked good. I knew they took that L last week, but they still look good. The defense looks solid. I'm going to go with the Commanders here. I'm going to go with the Commanders over the Giants because I just can't trust the G-men. Then we got the Tampa Bay Bucks taking on the Lions. Again, we just talked about Baker Mayfield balling out, 4 touchdowns last week. That doesn't happen this week against the Lions. The Lions look great. Their defense looks stout. This past Sunday night, they looked really, really good. And they're favored by 7.5. That's a little high. I don't know if it's going to be a rout. The Bucks had a decent defense last week. But again, if Mayfield can go down and pick that defense apart and get that ball in the end zone, it might end up being some kind of shootout late in the fourth quarter. But I got to go with Detroit, baby. I got to take the Lions to win this game. Indianapolis Colts at the Green Bay Packers. Right now, Indy's favored by 2.5. This is tough, man, because this would be Packers all day. But Love's not playing. So does Richardson ball out? I think he does. I don't think it's a rout. I don't think it's anything crazy. But the Colts look good last week, man. They look good, and like I told a lot of people, I was talking in the preseason about when we did our special, who was going to come out of the AFC. I told you the Colts were going to be there, and they're going to be, and they're going to win this game going away against the Packers. Then we got the Rams taking on the Cards. Arizona right now is favored by 1. Again, I think this is going to be a pick 'em for you guys that use the spread. I think it's a pick 'em by kickoff. I never have any faith in the Cardinals. I'm not just saying it because they're an NFC West guy and they play the Niners because the Rams are the same way. But out of the two teams, I got to say I think the Rams have a little more here. Both sides of the ball end up pulling it out. It's probably gonna be a squeaker either way, but I think the Rams here pull it out probably in the fourth quarter, and that defense holds the Cards going away. Then we have the Steelers at the Broncos. Right now, Pittsburgh's favored by 2.5. Listen, I'm probably gonna be that guy all year, and I'm not even a Broncos fan. Okay, I'm sitting here. I'm betting on Bo Nix, man. I'm betting on Bo Nix. I feel like last week he did good. He had a couple flubs, but I think he's learning this kid's learning on the job. He's learning what goes on, what he's got to do. The O-line looked good, gave a lot of time. The defense is looking good. Surtain looked awesome out there. So I'm gonna take the Broncos over the Steelers. The Steelers did look good. They did get a couple timely turnovers that helped them out. But I think the Broncos get their first W here. They come out, they get that dub, make a statement, get some confidence behind them, get that W for Nix. He gets his first win in the NFL. Then we have the Bengals taking on the Chiefs. Man, talk about being hard luck losers if you're the Bengals, man. I want to sit here and go, oh, the Bengals bounce back after taking, an unforeseen L against the Pants. Nah, Jack. Nah, right now the Chiefs are favored by 5.5, which is wild to me. Right now, I think to be favored by 8 or 9. I think Mahomes goes nuts on Cincinnati. I think they win big. They win early and they win big going away. So I would definitely bet the over on those. But just picking straight up, I go with the Chiefs here in this game over the Bengals. Then we get the Chicago Bears against the Houston Texans. Bears got lucky last week, man. Bears got lucky last week. And if you're watching this and you're getting mad, I'm sorry. Your man did nothing. Caleb Williams did nothing. First quarterback in a long, long time to win a game after being drafted first, but pretty much crapped himself on the field. Did nothing to help the team out. Stats were crap. Like that defense really won that game for them. With that being said, I think the Texans offense goes out there and chews this defense up, and Caleb Williams unfortunately has to face this defense and just will not be able to do anything offensively and definitely be stifled by the Texans. So I have the Texans here walking away. By the way, they're favored by 6.5. It's probably going to be more than that, but I have the Texans winning this game here. And then we go over to the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles right now are favored by 6.5. Falcons, I've said it before, I think I got them coming out of the South. I think they're going to eke it out and win down the stretch, but they're definitely not winning this way. I think Philly gets this win. Not by a lot. I don't think it's anything 3-4 touchdowns, but they definitely probably win by 7 or 10 points here. And it definitely kind of in a deciding game later in the second half. So that's what we got going on this week, guys. Those are our winners. Those were all losers. Like I said, last week we were 11-5, 69%. We're looking to get a little better than that this year, obviously. Last year we were picking about 63%, which is amazing, amazing number. So with that being said, we gave you those picks. Every week we do our underdog parlay, courtesy of DraftKings Sportsbook and WagerWire. So this is where we take the five underdog teams on the spread. I'm sorry, against the spread. It's just straight up the underdogs of who's right now being betted to lose and who has the best shot of winning. Sorry, it's just a mouthful to get out. I like to explain this to a lot of people because they're like, I'm not picking the team. So when I pick these underdog teams, I'm not picking, taking like the Chiefs and Bengals. Like I'm not taking the Bengals. The Bengals are 6-7 point favorites, right? I'm taking teams that are probably within 4 points or less and have a really good chance of upsetting the favorite, thus you making a lot of money. With that being said, this week for a $25 bet, you're looking to make $1,548 on a bet right now on DraftKings Sportsbook if you go make this 5-team parlay. This 5-team parlay is as follows. I have the Tennessee Titans, the Denver Broncos, the Rams, the Browns, and the Green Bay Packers. That's your best chance there for those 5 teams to shift the scales. Victory in their favor and pull off some wins if those 5 hit again for $25, which you would go spend on a good 4-pack of craft beer or on a pizza and a sub. You throw that on the DraftKings Sportsbook and these 5 teams hit, almost $1,600 you're going to have in your account. And you can buy plenty of beer and booze with that. So those are our picks. And if you want to see those, are also on our Twitter, on X. We posted that up. And shout out again to Sports Coin Network for sponsoring us. Also, you can shoot them a follow as well. You can also find our picks, and also you can find this show on their page as well. So, guys, thank you so much again. I'm John Anthony. This is Drivin to the Bank. Thank you so much again for joining us. Again, we're going to be doing this every week, every Wednesday night, Thursday morning. This is going to be dropping for you guys. So follow us along. Let's make you some money.